hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the Hardwood on Wednesday night. This is the basketball show. Tonight, we have a very special episode for you guys. One of our favorite people, one of our mentors. I'm going to go ahead and bring my buddy Stacks on, as always.
What's up? What's up, Danny?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, just another night. Excited for this interview tonight. I think this is going to be a fun one, and so hopefully some of our Fall City familia is out there tuning in.
So we picked this as our first interview show. I don't think Coach knows that. We picked this as our first interview show, and we've never done it before, so we're probably terrible at it. So
Absolutely.
Just
Bear with
brace
us,
yourselves
people.
for that, everybody.
Absolutely.
So starting the bar low, I always figured out is the best way to go. Low standards.
Absolutely.
So without
that great Fall City education is going to be going to be pulling in today. So, you know,
I mean, look at us, Stacks. I mean, you get your lawn mowed by a guy that you pay. That's success number one. All right. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's that. We're just moving on up. So without further ado, guys, 296 career basketball wins at Fall City High School. Now the athletic director at Fall City High, one of our favorite people, one of our mentors. We're going to go ahead and bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Hogue.
How you doing, guys?
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Good.
Good.
Last day of classes at Fall City High tomorrow with kids. So
That's going to make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
After a year.
Absolutely.
How was this year? As boring as the year before?
Overall, it was a good year. Some of our athletic teams had great success, and I know when it comes to academic side of things, a lot of our kids excelled in some testing scores that, of course, makes all the teachers feel like they got something. So,
absolutely,
right.
That's always good to hear.
That's fantastic. What were Stacks' scores in high school? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh, we don't
had
need
to have been high.
We don't need to go there, do we?
He just has the numbers right in front of him. He's like, oh yeah.
I will tell you that, Dan. Pure state education right here. So I will tell you that.
That's why he's moving on up.
I'm a PSC grad too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Both
where it's
alums.
at. Connor as well, too. His son is also. Yeah, so go Bobcats for sure.
My dad, my uncle, and Blondie Werner. I'm rocking the Blondie shirt right now. My grandpa all went to Peru State as well. Graduated from Peru State.
Absolutely.
My dad went there for 9 years, and they used to ask my grandma my grandpa what my dad was going to be when he got out of college, and my grandpa would always say old. Be old.
That's
That
fair.
works.
That's fair.
So, the Bobcats. I didn't throw I was going to throw the letter jacket on before we introed you, but I didn't do it.
That
I still got it.
Hang on, man.
As you can see, all my letters are updated. There's one for basketball, and that's it.
I'm 1-1.
No, I know. I think they fell off or something. They all fell off. So there's one basketball one. I thought that was kind of ironic when I brought it out of the storage earlier. I was like, "There's one back. Look at that. Makes a ton of sense."
Yeah. I can get those replaced.
I
know someone that can get those replaced.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you have enough for a podcast, to be honest.
It's probably true.
That whole like 16 minutes I played as a freshman somehow got me a letter. I don't know how that worked.
Hey, when you're trying to build a program, you do anything to keep kids out.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yes, right.
And we eventually got there, didn't we, Dan?
Yes, absolutely. That was. We're going to talk about that in a second for sure. My first question for you: 296 career wins. It doesn't blow me away though. Like I thought that was probably somewhere around the number. It's a lot. That's a lot. And like you kind of transcended a little bit. Like there was coaches before you that people know who they were. Larry Munn would be one of them off the top of my head. Obviously Darwin Palmer, guys like that. But I feel like you're just up there with those guys, at least at this point. How did you see the athletes that you coached from when you started change from when you ended 2 years ago or last year?
Well, I think anytime you start building a program, kids want to be involved in it, and then they're willing to dedicate extra time and extra weekends. And you remember the days of the MAYB tournaments and just
Sure.
the bond that you guys showed and collected and having our parents there and their bond, and it became a family. And
right.
Do anything for a family member. And,
right.
and that's how I really felt the trending part of it was we started playing 24, 30 games in the summer and hanging around each other sometimes Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And, that was so instrumental. And also, getting Kevin Shiloh for 16 years at the middle school program and keeping him consistently involved in our program and him teaching the same verbiage and the same offense and all that. So basically from 7th grade through seniors, everyone was hearing the same thing.
Right. And that kept a consistency within the program. And like, where do you think the teams, like, was that a new thing, or was that just like a thing that, like, I don't know, was it not happening before you came on, or was it just a thing where just like, that's kind of what started to work and that you just stuck with it, you think? Like,
yeah, I think, basically, previously around that 05, 06, 06, 07 year era, I think we started maybe even as freshmen, played in the freshman, sophomore, and then we ended up going to the juniors and senior division. But I think we basically just started with a couple. We went to like Lincoln, and then there was one in Sabetha, Kansas, and all of a sudden we decided, mowing the Harris Cemetery in the Barreda to make money to play for these tournaments. And
creep me out.
That's kind of where I think where it all changed, and you were part of the turnaround and the culture of the summer of 05. I felt really 05, 06 senior year, and of course you were a junior that year, really got us over the hump. I think we were like 16-7 that year. Previously we were hovering around that 7, 8, 9 win season. So basically we doubled it in 1 year. And I pay a lot of that to playing all the games during the summer and being a close-knit group.
Right. And we kind of got the taste of it for the first time sort of too, like it was like the 16 wins. That was we love, obviously we like to win. So like it was a thing like where once we got the taste for it, that was what we wanted to, that was part of stemming that tide was like just, was getting to learn how to win quite literally because there wasn't a whole lot of that going on before that. And that's no fault of anybody's really. It's just,
right.
We were obviously at that point in a little bit bigger class, right? Because we were in Class B my first 2 years.
That's correct.
There too. Mm-hmm. And I credit that all the time. And I've said this to Stacks on the show before, like getting your ass kicked helps. It helps sometimes. Like you need to know how to lose. I think that a lot of guys that go straight, Trevor Lawrence, for example, the Jaguars quarterback, went through what? I think he lost 2 games in like 7 years. He was undefeated in high school and almost all the way through college. And then he gets in the pros and he's like, oh, I'm going to lose like half at least of my games at this point. And I think that's hard for people to, and we kind of got seasoned to that early because we were the smallest school in our class. Yep. And we got rolled over a lot. And it was like that helped us when we became the biggest one in the next one to be like, okay, we don't want to do that anymore. So I think that was a huge part of it too.
Yep. And I think that even had some carryover from football too, because, we were Class B there for a while and then we got to C. And then, of course, we started doing some winning and find ourselves going to Arlington for a playoff game. And that all one sport a lot of times will feed the other sport. And that was the opportunity your senior year. Right.
That was the kind of the perfect storm sort of gathered at that point, which was, and that was great. And I think that's what needs to happen. And even for the younger kids that are coming up, when they see teams winning, what I'm saying? Like that helps them just to work harder in what they're doing for the sport in the future as well. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more commitment. That's if a team just sucks all the time, there's no motivation for them to be like, oh yeah, I want to go suck in high school. Like, so.
And you can just piggyback off of all the things that we did during the summer as high school kids, but even go back 5, 6 years, you were playing 5th and 6th grade ball, going to tournaments and different things. And again, it continues to build that bond with a bunch of individuals and make that fifth that I call, a fist is stronger than just 5 individuals. And that really is a big part of it.
Right. And not just like the other players, the parents are involved in it too. Like, so it's, it's a collective effort all the way around from everybody. And like, it's just, when everybody buys in, it's just a beautiful thing. And that's what you did. I think that amongst everything else, the wins, that's a thing. The drawing up the plays, that's a thing. But like, I think that your legacy as the coach will be that you brought people together like a family. And that is what caused a culture change. And like to that, I congratulate you and thank you for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to me. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, Coach. Just piggybacking off of kind of what you mentioned earlier with the 05 and 06 season and how that kind of really started to change the tide for you. Specifically what. And feel free to give a political answer here if you want, but between the 05 and 06 season, what is comparable to that, to the 2010 team that ended up making state and all that? Which team was better? And if you can't give me that answer, I guess what were some differences there that kind of made those teams special in your mind?
Well, I could talk about every team being special.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all have a different trait to themselves. They all have something that brought the good out of everyone. The reason I say 05, 06, and it's not just that senior group, it was the juniors, and I think Mitch Liberty played some too. But just to drive the team play. I can recall we went to Ashland Greenwood and beat a good Ashland Greenwood team. because the next year we had to play them in the sub-district final, and they got us, and they ended up going to state tournament that year. But we go to Ashland in 05-06, and we beat them. The quote from Brad Jacobson in the Omaha paper, Stu Popsicle was there that night, it said, "The tougher team won tonight. The mentally tough team won tonight." And to me, that was the edge that the 05-06 team had, and that was the trait that everyone else carried on. You know, saw that, and we stressed it more. Said, you got to win the 6-inch battle between your ears. You can't let people get into you. You know, you got to almost play with a poker face. And so 05-06 is special because of that, because when you have an opposing coach get quoted to say the other team was tougher than your team, I'll tell you what, that takes a lot of pride.
Absolutely.
And that's what's special about 05-06.
Gotcha.
And then we had that dog in us, Stacks. We had that dog. We had that dog in us.
That's true. That's true. What characteristics did the 010 team have, you think, that ended up breaking the streak for state, comparable to the 05-06 team then?
We had multiple great defenders. Hittner was a great defender. DON HOGUE was a great defender. Trevor Hardwood.
He could take charges. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you had a dominating 6'5", 6'6" post player.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and he could step out and on a trail. We made him our trail man just because he could.
Yeah, we did.
The three so well.
Absolutely.
And, so, you know, you get a lefty trailing at 6'5", someone closes out a little faster, and if it's another post player that's trying to guard the 6'5" kid, maybe a little slower, you know, he would take him to the rack. And
absolutely.
So that was a special group just because they really, really had the buy-in already through middle school. And, of course, Trent's dad was coaching down there. And, of course, his expectations was probably a lot higher for that group. I'm not saying he didn't care and have high expectations for the rest of the groups he coached. But
right.
When you have a dog in the fight, you know what?
Yeah.
That raises
a little bit different.
Standards.
It's a little bit different. Absolutely.
Yeah. Naturally.
Absolutely.
That was a really special group, and you knew even before that, you knew fans were behind us. We were packing the gyms and
absolutely every weekend. Every weekend.
You know, bringing the bleachers out up above on the wrestling deck, but to walking in Peru State.
That Peru State game, that was amazing. That was one of the best environments I've probably ever been in and probably ever will be.
Yeah, I mean, one whole side was Fall City fans, and behind the benches was Bennington fans, and it was maybe 2/3, half to 2/3 full, and just the atmosphere and
absolutely
seeing everything come down to the end, and we win that game and get to stay for the first time in 47 years, and you guys are making me tear up. But it was a very special time, and
absolutely.
And it, just always say it's you kind of uncover a rock, uncover that rock, and we finally uncovered that rock.
We did, absolutely.
So, Stacks, to answer your question, the 2010 team had more talent than the 2005-2006 team. I think that's legitimately a real thing. That's kind of what Stacks and I had talked about. Was like they just had they were more naturally talented as basketball players. There's no doubt. I mean, you were starting me, so that kind of takes down the natural basketball talent. But like the old 2010 team wasn't starting a 5'9" power forward. But yeah, like that's kind of what we were guessing was the answer. So I'm glad that we kind of were on the same page with this. That team was just like that, super naturally talented, like super naturally. It just had, and everything came together too. At the right time. So,
and I will add something, and that anytime if you can make practices harder than what the games will be, you're going to find success.
Your end result's going to be fantastic. Yep.
In 2010.
Yep.
You couldn't shoot 14 yet. You only could shoot 12. We shooted 10 seniors and 2 juniors.
Yeah.
Practices were like when we were going 6-on-6, 7-on-5.
Right.
Competitive. And
it was every single day. Yep.
It was a grind. I mean, we had fights. I mean, not like boxing fights, but I mean, we had arguments, chipping, chattering back and forth, and so
all out of love in order to get to the get the end goal where it needed to be. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a senior heavy group. So
It was. Absolutely.
I told him I would do it, so I have to ask you, Coach. Jared Dishon. What was your outtake on Jared Dishon as a player?
I tell you what, Dylan,
short corner king, man.
Jared was hard to guard, and if he knew that he had no chance for a rebound, it was going the opposite way, and you knew he had Trent Shiloh down there rebound and going to outlet to Michael Hittner, and you had Lauder, the 3-point threat, running one side, Dish running the other side. I tell you what, you better have pretty good transition defense because something good was going to happen. And Dish, honestly, in the we went to a Prue State 14 tournament right around Christmas, right before Christmas. Dish went off one night, just totally went off. And he's just athletic, quick, could drive baseline right or left with either
long.
Yeah.
I never did ask him. We probably should have measured that. I wonder what his wingspan was.
I bet it's. I mean, now he hasn't. I don't think his body composition. Obviously, he's not as good a shape, but I don't think his body composition has changed at all. I think he still looks almost exactly the same. I bet he's a legitimate 6'4", and I bet he's got. I bet it's 6'8". I mean, his hands hang down to his knees. Like his hands are huge. Like, so he's just long and like that. He has a body built for basketball for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, he wanted me to ask you. He was all giddy about it. He's like, you gotta ask him what he thought. I gotta ask him what he thought. So he's
absolutely.
So a lot of your opinions are highly regarded. That's for sure. So
this was a great player for us. Great player.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. He's gonna have a party with himself tonight. Gonna have a cupcake with a candle in it, and he's gonna be like, I was good. He's gonna keep telling himself that.
So
go ahead.
He's definitely watching. I can see. I can't see who is watching, but there's quite a few people watching right now, and he's definitely one of them. I will guarantee it. There's not a doubt in my mind.
I hope he is.
So, no, not a doubt in my mind.
Coach, settle this for me because I've had this question for weeks and I want to get it answered. Alan Feek. Is Alan Feek similar to Dan Werner as far as play style?
He tells me this all the time.
No, they are not similar.
No, they are not similar. Okay.
Well, they are similar. They both work hard. Something about Dan, he could get to the rim on about anybody. Okay. But what Alan has maybe over Dan is Alan probably had to use a shot fake more.
Yeah.
He probably had a little bit more accurate 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Now, Alan didn't take a lot of them. Neither did Dan. But, I always say every guy has a role on the team. I don't care what it is. You're a great defender. Maybe you don't score a lot. But how can you get your teammates open to score easier? And both those guys did that for us.
That's kind of what I told him. I was like, Stacks, because somebody he was like, I think Dan was a better shooter. I was like, Stacks, I was not a better shooter than anybody. Let's just clear that up real quick right now. You can compare that to anybody down the line. I'm not going to be shooting. My thing literally, Coach, was that I could not slow down from like I was in football mindset the whole time. Like it just was natural. Like I couldn't stop it. Like it was just I had so much going, just adrenaline going, whatever was going. I'm so pumped up that you have to have some level of relaxation in basketball. You have to be a little bit level-headed. This isn't 3 seconds and then you go walk for 20 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to kind of keep your shit together a little bit. And that was kind of my problem the whole time. Was like on defense, I was fine because I was like, just go react. But like football. But on offense, you got to dribble the ball. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing. Somebody else take it.
But you were with a group, guys, especially your senior year. Your role playing, even offensively, was, you take 1 or 2 dribbles, and all of a sudden the help side's got to come and help's got to come and all this other stuff. It broke down the defense, and we see that's now in this day and age. I mean, NBA, college, high school, it's all about dribble, drive, kick. Yeah. Well, break down the defense somewhere and make someone come help or help up, help over, and all of a sudden you got open shots.
Little did they know, Coach, I could only take 1 or 2 dribbles at a time. So that's the kicker. You got to watch film. Just he'll stop after 2. Just let him go for the 2. But you better hope I'm not at the rim. You better hope I'm not at the rim. You better get a body in front of me because I'm going straight at. I'm not going to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to shoot. So yeah, that's fantastic.
Very athletic, Dan, and you cause a lot of havoc for a lot of teams, and don't take that lightly. So much fun. You were talking about the Ashland Greenwood game earlier. You probably don't remember this part. When we lost to them to miss out on going to state, who their point guard? Good, he was real good. I want to say it was like Brett Sapp or something like that. I can't remember. That's exactly it. You're
Brett
good.
Sapp? Okay, yeah. So Brett Sapp, he's out at half court, and I'm standing next to him, and this guy has the unmitigated gall to start celebrating with like 25 seconds left, and I am not having it. I'm not having it with this dude. I'm about to I am just seeing red at this point. I'm like, we just lost. I'm seeing red. I'm like, I'm gonna beat up everybody on this floor. I don't even care if they're my own teammates. Like, I'm just gonna start beating people up. And I turned around and just looked at you, and you just gave me like one look, and you're just like, and I was like, all right, just gonna walk back to the bench. That's probably not worth it. But I just loved how you could see it. You were just like watching me. You're like, God damn it, he's gonna, damn it, get him over here. Check him in, everybody, get out there. I just saw it.
Oh, that's
you guys, good stuff. You were never scared of my looks. Maybe
what's that?
You guys were never scared of my looks. Maybe the foot stomp.
Yeah. The stamp and spin.
Scary. That was scary.
Stacks, I'll give you an impression later when it's not right in front of him.
Good. Sounds good.
Stamp and spin. I used to do it right in front of him all the time.
Oh.
The old Schill Shuffle. Remember the old Trent Schill Shuffle? Good stuff. No, but the reason I tell that story is because like that just shows you how much we all cared about. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cared so much that we were sometimes it was made us a little nuts. Like, and that's a good thing. It's not, don't go nuts when you feel like that, but like that you have that much passion for what you're doing is a good start regardless. Like that's what we should be doing. Right. I mean, and that's kind of the point I'm trying to make with that is like the fact that any of us felt that way is the start of that's going to win you games, period. Right. That's going to build you men, period. Like, so that's kind of my point behind that whole thing. So Stacks, I lost my questioning here.
It's all good. I'll have one for you. I'll fill in, Coach. Now that you're not at the helm anymore, we have Patrick Miller now, the head coach of the group these days. What's the difference regime-wise between just mentality? You were a defensive guy. We talked about the fist earlier. What's Patrick bring different to the table that maybe something you didn't bring?
I see him running a lot more set plays and different things. He still runs a continuity offense. It's a cut back screen type of offense, and I thought it worked really well with the players we had. We returned 3 starters from a year ago that came back, and he played some younger kids too. The Zimmerman kid freshman played some this year, and he played Kiefer Adams quite a bit, and so I don't think there's much difference. I really don't. He played the 2-3 zone a little bit more than maybe I would have done, but you know what? That's his philosophy, and we knew coming in he played some 2-3 with his man defense, and so I think honestly I think he's going to do a great job at both of the
Absolutely.
And what's nice, I think we got a long-term coach. He's formerly from Pawnee City, so basically he moved back home. His brother's at the high school, so he's around family again, and
Absolutely.
So I really think he's going to be fine. He's going to do a good job.
He younger guy? I didn't catch his age on the.
Yeah, I think he is. Honestly, I think he's like a year or two younger than Brian Miller, which is our ag teacher. So I'm going to look at maybe he might be like a 93 grad, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That kind of goes. Stacks' question actually kind of works pretty well with mine. Mine was about Jim Weeks. You had brought Jim Weeks in when he was Beatrice's coach for defensive camps.
Yep.
And Jim Weeks, I see what was 10 years later, he comes into Auburn, and Auburn hasn't won anything since, the Reagan administration. And he comes in and just turns the program around, wins the state championship.
Yep.
I'm going, well, somebody in there's smart getting Jim Weeks. Look at you, two Don Hogue. Like somebody knows what they're doing. Like that dude knows what he's doing for sure, right? I mean, you could tell when he was coaching the camps, he knows what he's doing. But
absolutely
the impact of him on Auburn, I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And it just shows you how much coaching does matter, especially at the high school level. Because you've watched pro basketball games, and we're going to get to that in a second, because I think that was our last kind of thing. See if you've been watching the NBA. Because me and Stacks, we started this show because we're both huge NBA fans, and we wanted to do the NBA thing. And but like the high school level, the importance of coaching is monumental. It's so pivotal, and obviously you see it when you just go from Auburn's a mediocre team every year, they're just mediocre, to state title. Didn't they win 2 in a row?
They won 3 in a row and got 2 in a row.
Yep, absolutely.
They got home. They basically played in 5 state championship games in a row.
5 in a row. Yeah.
And the only thing that changes, not the athletes, not really the town at all. One guy, the coach, changes in it, and that drastic. It just shocked me when I saw that. And I talked to Trent Scheidel about it, actually. Like after he had won his second one, and me and Scheidel sat there and went, that is so crazy how one scheme or one just culture, like we were just talking about, can change a whole program like that, and so drastically. Like it doesn't usually happen that drastically, but that just drastically, it just shocked me.
I'll tell you a little Jim Weeks story. Other than
yes,
we're good friends, and I brought him in to help with the defensive side of things. So in 2017, 16-17 season, my middle son's senior year, so they finally beat us for the first time in 32 games at their place in December. Well, they turned around and come to our place in January, and we held them scoreless for 10 and a half minutes. It was 32-0 before they scored.
Oh my gosh.
So the reason I'm telling this story is afterwards, I'm going around picking up room keys where they're dressing at, and I do stats. I send all the scores to the newspaper, and we're shooting the breeze a little bit in the coach's office. And I finally go down to his room, and it's still closed doors, and he's still in there talking to him. And this is, I'm not exaggerating one bit, it's probably 20 minutes after the game's been over with. So that is my hang my hat on Jim Weeks story.
That's awesome. Just how pissed he was about it. Like he was so pissed.
But yes, he is a hell of a coach, and he's done wonders up there. And we're so good friends. We talk frequently, probably not as much as when I was still coaching, but he's a good guy. So
you could tell how intense he was. Just in a camp, he wasn't even my coach. You know what I'm saying? You could tell how intense. I could picture myself wow, playing for that dude. That dude is intense. That guy is all he had me shoot a shot, that part where they single one guy out. It's okay, here's one guy can do better, and singled me out, and he was shoot a jump shot, and I was yes sir, and he was just bricked a 3, and he's all right, now shoot a jump shot, and I was why do I know what he's talking about? And just stepped into it and drained it. And I was what is going on right now? He just hypnotized me. If I could have had Jim Weeks before every shot that I ever took, just Jim Weeks out there going, hey, take a jump shot. Not a jump shot. Take a jump shot. I'd be okay, I feel like I can do this. But I just, it was very, he was super intense. And you could tell how he could culturally change something. You did it in a different way. Yours was a collective thing. I feel Weeks was just super probably just intense. It was just he could change something quick because it was just it doesn't mean it's always going to go great, but it just he could definitely change something quick because it was just, he was very intense. So
very intense.
Yes, no, he was awesome. Well, I guess my last thing was you've been watching any of the NBA playoffs? Do you watch the NBA at all?
I do, but I gotta admit something. So
Okay.
you know, my college son's home, and of course, he always asks me about the NBA, and I have to ask him questions about the NBA. I don't start watching until we get to the Eastern and Western Conference championships, and then I'll watch those games, and then I'll watch the finals.
Yeah, that's
fair.
Kind of
fair.
wacky, but I will make a comment though. Okay, I mean, you guys probably done the research. When's the last time you have like a 7 and 8 seed in the Eastern and Western Conference championships?
It's been a while.
Well,
the last couple of years, there's been lower seeds, and it's because, like you said, and this is the reason I think a lot of reason, and that you don't watch a lot of it is because there's too many games. There's too many regular season games. 82 82. Why? Like that's about this right here.
Right.
It's about money.
Sure.
And it's just too many games. And so like I think you're getting those 7 and 8 seeds because LeBron James knows that the regular season does not matter. The regular season all you got to do is get in, and Braun knows that. He just knows you just get in, and I'll do my work when it matters. Right now it doesn't matter. I can act like I have a foot injury. Liz Frank, he likes to pull the Liz Frank. I'm out for 12 games. Like if we played 82, coach, I'd be doing that. I got a hammy. I can't do the next I can't do games 61 through 72 because we're already in. I'm not about this like regular season making money from my bosses kind of thing. Ron just realizes that. I think a lot of them realize that.
Yeah, they do.
And that's why I think is when you're getting the lower seeds, and then obviously this year you got Giannis, who we're both huge Giannis fans too. I mean.
Yep.
He gets hurt. That whole series, the whole Eastern Conference is completely disfigured because of it. I mean he's the driving force behind the whole Eastern Conference at that point. And he goes down. So now you got Jimmy Butler in the Eastern Conference Finals and stuff like that. But yeah, I think most of that is because they just don't care about the regular season that much. So they're just going to get in. Like the Lakers are a play-in team.
Yeah. So I got a question for you two.
Yeah.
Who would you dream to see in the finals?
Who's our star matchup? Yeah, we're both going to have the same answer on this one.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I'll go first. Lakers Celtics for sure. Yeah.
Old school.
Yep. Old school.
Yeah. I mean,
Lakers Celtics. Jason Tatum. As you know, coach, where'd he go to school at? Where'd he go? Jason Tatum. Where'd he go to school?
well, he is. Well. Coach Hogue is like a more bald, younger version of Coach K. So. I mean, you're like the Fall City High School version of Coach K.
He just gave you the answer to the test there, so
the
Duke guy.
I should have studied up.
Spell Krzyzewski, KRZWSKI. No. How is that Krzyzewski, by the way? It starts with a K.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is he just like, I don't like Kretschef. I'm gonna call myself Krzyzewski. They were like, all right, cool. Starts with the K still though. Right. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna go the same thing. Because I mean, if it's Lakers, we're both huge LeBron James fans. I know you're not a regular watcher of the show. A lot of our content is us literally arguing who's the GOAT, which is my last question, and I'm not gonna ask you right now, but I am gonna ask you in a second. The greatest player in NBA history is LeBron James, in my opinion. And in fact, but the Lakers and the Celtics are the classic. That's the all time. That is what the NBA would be known for. Most people would say like, hey, what matchup? Even people who don't know it, Lakers and Celtics are two teams that they can name. They're obviously the top two in the championships. That is the dream matchup. Plus, if it's Lakers Heat. The Heat are going to get rolled. The Heat are going to get rolled up on, just like they did in the bubble in 2020. It's just going to be a replay, except for there's going to be fans there. Instead of it being no fans, it's going to be fans, and they're just going to get rolled up. And I don't want to see. I don't want to see that happen to Jimmy Butler. He has too much pride for that to get rolled up again. But yeah, I think it's Lakers Celtics for sure. Is that what you would want to see?
I would be super fine with that. Super fine.
Yeah.
And so. I think when it gets to that point, throw the dice out there. I'd probably be rooting for the Lakers too. I'm not a big Celtics fan, so
right. so I got to. We're gonna end with this, because I think this might. And I don't know how much time you got. this issue goes for a while sometimes, and we're not going to have that full conversation, but we've talked about this for 2 hours. We've talked about this for 2 hours with multiple people all the time, and it always gets to this like heated moment because this is like the most impassioned conversation, sports conversation that anybody can ever have. And it's LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And this is a new thing. This is a new thing, Coach. Like this, Stacks and I are on the forefront of this. And I saw a little bit of Jordan, okay? And I understand that I didn't see Jordan like you could have seen Jordan, or like a lot of people saw Jordan. Like I saw a lot of the aftermath. I saw a lot of like the highlight films and things like that. So like I understand that point of view of it. But like if you even say, it's sacrilege in some places to say that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. You will actually get you'll get threatened to be fought physically sometimes because of it. Like it's that intense of a conversation. And so I have to ask you, in your opinion, and I'm not even going to take a guess because I'm not going to pigeonhole you into one, but like who's your GOAT, your greatest of all time in NBA history?
When you look at the overall player, and I think it's getting better in the NBA. I don't think there's great defense being played all the time.
No,
but,
no.
When you look at the size of LeBron and the muscle mass of him and everything else compared to Jordan, no doubt Jordan in his glory years, but I think his glory years a lot was the guys that he had around him. And there's been times LeBron hadn't had a lot of guys around him. And so
preach, Coach, preach.
people tend to look at that, you put a Scottie Pippen type player with LeBron for multiple seasons on the same team under the same coach, you're probably going to look pretty good.
Coach, you have almost made me cry during this interview a couple of times, and this is the closest I'm going to get right here because I just the beauty that is coming out of your mouth right now is fantastic.
I think you got to look at who's around those types of players to decide if who really is the GOAT. And no different from high school teams. Dan, we talked about it earlier in the show that when you have role players that's willing to sacrifice to get the ball to the guy that's averaging 21, and it is what it is. There's role players, and when you have good role players, when you have an all-star or a GOAT, you're going to be good.
Absolutely.
The way we always put it is like, if you have, if say you get the number one pick in a fantasy draft of every player that's ever played in the NBA, and they're playing next year, they're going to play in 2023, and you get to pick them but they stay in their prime, obviously. So you get all these guys in the best year. So you get like 2013 Heat LeBron James, where he's literally the bouncy bunny of all time greatest. Like he's the greatest athlete on the floor, who's also the greatest basketball player. It's just like the epitome. You get 96 Jordan, 97 Jordan is what you get. Okay. If you get those guys, who do you take number one overall? I don't think there's a question. I wouldn't even hesitate. If I get guys in their prime and I get to keep them through their prime for multiple years, I'm taking LeBron James. I'm not even thinking twice about it, I don't think. So I think that's
which of those two players didn't even play college basketball?
Came straight in. Jordan had to go to college? The college.
There you go. There's the answer.
17 ready to go. 17 ready to go. That's how good LeBron was. And he was obviously very raw at that point. I mean, he's just such a cool athlete and couldn't really shoot the ball at all. And he was the greatest dribble penetrator at 18 years old that the NBA has ever seen. Just every single play was him just like one dribble, 2 steps from 30 feet away and tomahawking it or attempting to and getting fouled. That was his game.
Well, and here's another thing to consider too. Even though you don't see it anymore, a post player with his back to the basket, but can Jordan play with his back to the basket successfully? LeBron can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think Jordan took guys into the post a little bit, but like they're also not throwing they weren't even throwing double teams at him most of the time. It was like just let him take mouse in the house into the post and just let him work. It's like LeBron's getting doubles thrown at him. LeBron gets fouled, I think, a lot like Shaquille O'Neal did. Yep. To where you're just not seeing it because he's so strong. He just goes through a lot of it, and then people give him shit for being he's a bitch. come on. He's not. He just gets fouled really hard because you have to foul him really, really hard to stop him. And so like when he gets fouled really hard, he has to over exaggerate it because he's not actually going to exaggerate it in real life because he's too strong. Like he doesn't actually feel those hits. He just has to like act it out. He's a terrible actor. Did you see Space Jam? Terrible. But like that's what people give him shit for, is he's just a terrible actor. He can't act that he got fouled because he's trying to let the referees know he got fouled because he could just play through the whole thing. But why would he have to do that? Nobody else has to do that. Right. Nobody else has to do that. Like, I think that's where a lot of the LeBron's a whiner. He complains. He's a crybaby. I think that's a lot of what comes from is like, he's just acting, guys. He's not actually hurt. When has he ever got hurt from one of those? When he goes, and he does all that stuff, he gets up every time, and he's fine. He's just fine. Like, he's acting.
Tell me who doesn't whine in the NBA?
Now it's everybody. It's everybody.
It's everybody. Yeah.
And that's the part. And like, I love listening to Van Gundy, Jeff Van Gundy, because he's always like talking about. He's like, we got to get this out of the game. Guys flopping. We got to get this out of the game. He's the only one who actually says it, and everybody's thinking it. Is like, yes, stop with the acting. We get it. If it's a foul, it's a foul. These guys see that, and like, I think the NBA refs are freaking amazing. I think those guys are freaking unbelievable, actually. Like that they can even see those fouls most of the time with the pace of that game is fantastic. But yeah, they get stuff wrong. And yes, Absolutely. They react to guys reacting. So like, why would they not react? They're doing it to get the call. That's how it goes now. Soccer's been like that for what, 100 years?
Sure.
Soccer does the same thing. Like if you get kicked in the shin, you play through it when you're not out on an MLS floor, the pitch. Right. If you're not on the pitch, but you play through that in a pickup game, but you don't when you have guys out there throwing red cards. Like you need to play it through so your team can win. I think that's, I don't think we should call them bitches for that because they're not. They're just, they got to play it out. It's acting.
Yep. Well,
so, Stacks, you got anything else, man?
Matt Rule hire.
Oh, there you Yeah.
What do we think? Matt Rule?
I like the hire. He's really proven to build programs. Of course, you build up Temple, and of course, everyone starts calling him. He goes to Baylor. He builds Baylor back up after the debacle down there. Unfortunately, he probably thought he should have stayed because the NFL, So, some guys are made for that NFL. Some guys aren't. And I think Matt figured out he wasn't. But I think up front, I think Trev Alberts knows what he's looking for. I think
absolutely
he knew the guy he wanted, and he got him. And, I just think it's a good deal. It really is. And you got him on for 7 year. We're really trying to keep it and build the foundation like it needs to be built. And so I like to hire.
Awesome. I saw him at WWE Raw in the front row. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
He was throwing the bones, and I was like, I'm behind Matt Rule now, 100%. I was like, I was already that's the solidifier. I was like, that's it. He's my guy now. I gotta be. He's my guy now. By the way, can we get Trev Alberts a cheeseburger? Have you seen that guy? Like what does he weigh now? He's 190 pounds. Probably. Like he looks great, but like, God, Trev used to be 240, bud, at least.
You just stop in the runs or some Bowls pizza or something.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Get in there on them burgers, bud. You get it for free. You're Trev Alberts.
Absolutely.
They would just give it to you, man. Just say you're taking the drive-through. I took that number 2. Also, I'm Trev Alberts, and you just get everything for free. That's how it works.
Absolutely.
That should be what it is in Fall City. If you go through and say, I want a number 1, I'm Don Hogue. It should be you get it free through the drive-through. 100%. 100%
there, Dan. Yeah.
Which brings me to a quick story before we get to it in, Don. I was hesitant to tell you this because I was embarrassed about it. This is the first time I've told anybody about this for I don't know why I'm so embarrassed about it. So I went into a Subway one time and got the wrong order off. You know how they do like the online orders?
Yep.
And that you could just take them off the thing? I was like 20 minutes late for mine. And there was one order on the takeout thing, right? And I just grabbed it and went out the door. And I get home and I open up a sandwich. I'm like, where's mine? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, there's like an extra sandwich. I'm like, okay, they give us an extra sandwich. Not what happened, Dan. They don't give you extra sandwiches. You took the wrong order. So I opened it up and I was like, what is going on right now? Like, what did I grab the wrong order? I look at the ticket. Terry Hogue is on the ticket.
Really?
Three sandwiches. I can't remember exactly what all of them were. One was had a lot of balsamic vinaigrette on it. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna say my joke here is that you taught me a lot of things, but the best one was to get olives on your Subway sandwich. Was the joke. But yeah, I just took your guys' order one day. I never knew what happened from that. Do you remember that at all? Because it had to have been yours, and I bet obviously your wife went and picked it up.
Right.
Because there was her name on the thing. So like she probably told you like, hey, our order got stolen by somebody and they had to remake it. I always thought that funny. I was like, God damn, I feel bad about it. I felt bad about it for a while. I was like, why do I feel bad? It's the last one there. And it turned out that my girlfriend at the time had already went and picked up the order. So she already had it. And so we had 5 sandwiches. And I'm going, what am I doing? I'm stealing food from the Hogues. These are sandwiches. They need the sustenance. They're not getting it.
I'm glad you said that, Dan.
I'm coming clean.
Knock off your chest.
Coming clean.
You're coming clean.
Also, like once or twice, I smoked pot before football practice. Once or twice. Now that we're being honest about everything.
One of those days that no one could tackle you.
Right? I was just flying high. I was just above the clouds, making moves, like feeling no pain. No, I didn't. Not a fan though. That gets weird. Don't try that at home, kids.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want it's not what you want to do when you smoke a little bit of pot. It's like go get hit by dudes all day. It's not like a fun.
I'm not for sure we're going to end this, but I want to throw a tidbit out there for you guys, just so you guys are in the loop.
Absolutely.
The National Federation of High School Sports, in April, you might have read this already, passed that high school basketball will no longer shoot 1-and-1.
I did see that.
It's going double bonus or what?
So basically, we're doing the old women's basketball NBA type thing. So when you get to 5 team fouls, you're going to shoot a double bonus.
Yeah.
In the quarter, all team fouls go back to 0.
That's kind of awesome. Honestly, I think that's probably how it should have. Would you agree with that? It probably should have been like that a little bit before this.
Yeah, what I like about it's going to speed the game up a little bit.
Speed the game up a little bit. Yeah.
More continuity where you're not
absolutely
1-and-1s. And
absolutely.
The reason behind it is the rough play on 1-and-1s.
Oh God.
So now you still could get double bonus or shooting fouls that could be rough on the second foul or the second shot. But yeah, so that will be in effect for 23-24.
But coach, at least you're not separating it into 1-and-1 where we're going to get rough on the first one, and if it goes in, we're still getting rough on the first one, and then if it doesn't go in on the second one, we're getting rough on the second one. Like that's at least it's just the second one now. Like it's not. It doesn't give the Dan Werners of the world 2 shots at that whole thing. Like it doesn't give us 2 shots.
So yeah, that'll be a good change, I think, for the game. So
yeah,
that's awesome. I had not read that. I mean. They should have.
I did see that. I saw that the other day.
They should have. You were a defensive coach. I was going to ask you this too. This is one of my last questions here. You were a defensive coach in football.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you used to get so pissed because nobody would read you would do all this work all week and nobody would read the defensive like
scouting
report. Nobody would read it. Mm-hmm. It's like you were just handing them out for just like shits and gigs. You were just just read it if you want to. I didn't do any work on this at all. You know, like percentages down and everything. Yeah. I just wanted to tell you, I started reading them like probably, way too late. Probably like 2 weeks into my senior year, I started reading them. First fucking game, Syracuse. I'm gonna remember another name here. Jordan Landwehr.
Yep.
Remember that big old dude?
Yep.
Is split out, and I literally thought in my head, I went, Hogue told me to read the fucking scouting report, and I did. And I go, this is going to be a slant route. It's going to be a slant route. He took a slant route step, and I just busted it like Dion, just right up, ripped over the top, busted it, and I just did I was like, nope. Hogue told me what he was doing. I was like, there's no way ever. I was like, he's going to get like, I was making jokes about that forever, dude. I was like, hey, I read the scouting report. That shit actually happens. They actually do that. Like, I just thought that was hilarious because you brought us in and you were just pissed. You were just pissed one week and you're like, are you guys fucking even reading the scouting report? You're like, you guys don't read the fucking scouting reports, do you? Like, what? I just write this stuff down for nothing. You just like walked out of the room. You're just like, okay. You were like, yeah, we should probably read the scouting reports. I just love that though because I just stepped out. I was like, this dude was right. I was like, we not listening to coach, not listening to him. He was right. Look at this slant route. No, I didn't have to do anything. Slant route, knocked it out. Bam, Jordan Lambware. Hogue told me what you were gonna do.
You should just say, "Get your ass back to the huddle."
Right. And then when I tell you what play is coming and you break it up, don't do the Dion incomplete thing and then run around and talk shit for the next 15 seconds. Maybe just run back to the huddle and try and run the next play.
Hey,
maybe don't do that.
Against some guys, it was okay.
Yes. Yeah. Jordan Langer. Jordan Langer. Remember Jordan Langer?
Yeah.
It was like Lincoln Christian's running back.
Yep.
He did twice in a row. He does 2 years in a row. He jumps into the end zone, does some crazy celebration, right? And then apologizes at halftime for the celebration. Like his coach just told him to apologize for it. And we all just saw right through it. We were like, motherfucker, you don't care what you just did running into the end zone. You don't care. So we would talk a lot of trash to that guy, like a lot. Because you can clearly tell he wasn't like actually trying to. He was like, "Oh yeah, my coach made me apologize for this, so sorry."
Yeah, with rolling eyes.
Yeah, he was. He was just like, "Guys, yeah, sorry about that jump into the end zone. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again when you're chasing me down. I'm gonna act like you're really close and do it again." Asshole.
Yeah, that's like the old saying, ask for forgiveness before you ask for
absolutely. And that guy was good, man. That guy was good. I get it. I mean, I like to do that stuff too, but like at least I just admitted it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was out there like, well, sorry about that, guys, where I put the ball out before I got in the end zone. Sorry about that. And then yeah. I once told that guy I was the devil during a game. Laughed pretty hard at that. He didn't laugh. He did not laugh. No, it's good stuff. Yeah. Coach, you got anything for us? You have any questions for us?
No, I really don't. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
I'm going to go ahead and we need to schedule you again sometime because I don't know when, but like when you're free, because I know you're a busy man. You need to come on again. Okay. Like maybe after the NBA finals are over, we could talk about the finals and stuff.
Right.
Since you're going to be watching them.
Yeah.
You give us a scouting report for the finals that we won't read.
Maybe Dan will read it.
I'm going to read it. And then be able to do nothing about the actual plays because I'm not playing. But I'll be like, hey, this is going to be a pick and roll. This is going to be an 80 LeBron pick and roll. Hogue says it right here. It's 61% of the time. 61% of the time he comes up there. That's how detailed these things were, Stacks. I don't know if you ever saw one.
No.
They were booklets.
I read his basketball scouting report on several occasions.
Booklets.
Several occasions. Yeah. The basketball was a little toned down, but yeah, definitely.
This man was somewhere in a dark room with a projector actually writing this shit down for hours at a time. Let's just recognize that for one. That hours of his life have been doing that. And it's you know what? We love you for it, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
You're still doing it. You're still doing it. It's like you didn't just quit all sports. No. You're not Prince.
Yeah, I got being a head coach for 23 years and now becoming an assistant for the girls program. It's been fun.
Are you really?
Yeah.
He is.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Who's the I should know this.
Armbruster. Andy Armbruster.
Okay.
Yep.
I did know that.
Yep.
He was an assistant for a while.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you got the Sanos over in Sacred Heart.
Yep.
Those guys are awesome. That's Stack's family.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Those guys are getting it. Those guys are getting it done.
And here's the thing, I mean, even in our, when I say glory, 15, 16 years, about 23, when we were winning anywhere from 16 to 23 games. I mean, when Reese was going through in 2014, 13, 14 was Reese's year, both boys teams are in the state tournament, and I mean, there's good basketball in this town, and so and then you got good people leading it. So that's
absolutely.
You know, I know there's two different schools, but it's still, when it comes down to it, it's still Fall City. You know,
absolutely.
And
at the end of the day, well said. Well said. Sometimes that gets lost, Coach. Sometimes that gets lost.
100%.
And so that's well said. That's well said.
Agree with you.
Well said.
And it does. It gets lost. Anyway, for me personally, it gets lost while you're doing it. Unfortunately, do you know what I'm saying? Because for some reason, there's this like, there's almost like a. It's just like a. It's not hate, but it's like a disdain. Mm-hmm. Because they play Sacred Heart players, and they're Tiger players. Mm-hmm. That's so stupid, guys. That's the stupidest thing I ever like. Yes, you go to a different school than they like, but this is all like, we don't play them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a rivalry. It's just like, why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are apples and oranges in what we're trying to do. But ultimately, we're trying to win basketball games and become better people. Absolutely. Right? I mean, ultimately. So,
and here's the thing people got to remember. Okay. The kids that go there probably go there because of their religion. Okay.
Absolutely.
They wear a different color jersey. Okay. They play different teams, but at the end, we still have the same zip code.
Yes.
Yeah.
And absolutely.
That's what to remember, you know, stand behind both teams. You know, if you have a favorite team, both of them playing at home, you're probably going to go watch your favorite team. You know, in football, we share the same football field. So you basically can go and watch probably 8 or 9 weeks of football every Friday night in Fall City.
Absolutely.
There's always a Friday night lights are always on.
Always on.
Absolutely. Always on.
So
that's an interesting point, Coach. That's an interesting point. I did not think about it that way.
Absolutely.
Because in other towns, most of them that are our size, it's just shut off half the time. Every other week, it's just not. There's nobody there.
Right.
Like here, there's a flourishing, albeit different colors, but who cares? Like who cares at this point? And I'll say this from like my standpoint, there was a lot more Fall City people like at my time that were like had disdain for Sacred Heart than Sacred Heart people. Like I didn't even like really encounter that many guys from Sacred Heart that were like, you know, just had natural. I liked a lot of the dudes from Sacred Heart, but like there was just like this underlying weird thing between like oh, go to Sacred Heart, blah, blah. It's so stupid. Like in hindsight, it's so stupid.
It is.
But like in hindsight, a lot of things I did in my life were really stupid. So, you know, I guess that's one of those things.
I know Reese had a lot of friends in that era, that 13, 14, 15.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I'll tell you this right now. So he goes to college. His first freshman roommate was his best friend in high school, Chase Thompson. And then his sophomore year, he lives in the Village, which is basically a little apartment with Lane Shiloh, Sacred Heart. Then he moves off campus and gets a house with 3 other guys, and 2 of the 3 other guys are Sacred Heart guys, David and Logan Sherman. And you know, it's you live in the same town. You're too busy to maybe connect with those guys during your seasons and during your school year. But when everything's done and said, some of them are best friends.
Absolutely. Yep.
I still see Jeremy Carney. I live right across the street from Jeremy Carney's mom. I still see Jeremy Carney all the time. And like, yeah, that was that time. And like, yeah, I don't hold. I feel like if you're a mature person at all, you're not holding like grudge. If you're still holding high school grudges for stuff when you're 35 years old, get the fuck over it. Pardon my French. Like, get the fuck over it, you weirdo. Like, you know, like it's seriously like, why? Just, it's just so strange. And I hope nobody's doing that. But like, even in high school, I would like to kick that whole thing. Like, you know, like just stop doing it. Can't we cheer for the other team? Like, and I get a lot of what it is. And I'm being to be frank, is that Sacred Heart wins more, or they win titles more. And there's a natural thing that we're going to go, okay, they play less division. No, it's just their size of school that they're doing the same thing at. So can't hate on them for it. All right. But like, I see where that comes from.
Yep.
And I think it's stupid, you know? So I get this basically I'll get off my soapbox about it, but
that's good.
Yeah.
All
Coach,
right.
you got anything else?
No, I don't.
Awesome.
Have for you. So
yeah,
hey, it was a good time, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're in, we're gonna have you back. We'll do it after the NBA Finals.
Sounds
We
good.
talk about some final stuff, and maybe you write up a scouting report.
Okay.
That Stacks and I will not read. You fax it to us. We'll mull it over.
I'll hand deliver it.
Here you go. Hang on. We got a Harmon gigantic thing that covers up Coach's face. Let's see if we can read this all in a thing. Sorry, it just happened. Oh, it happened at 8:46. So it happened a while ago. I haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be doing this. I was concentrating on the interview. Harmon, I'm sorry. Hey, Coach. Great to see you. Question: the Spurs getting the first pick. Do you think we're in store for another Spurs dynasty in the next decade, assuming they're drafting Victor Wembanyama? What a question by Jason Harmon.
Yeah. Thank
you.
you.
What a good question. Thank you, Harmon.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be. I would think Spurs need some help.
Have you seen anything of Wembanyama yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think he holds up? That's my thing.
Yeah.
Tissue paper?
What does he weigh? 190 pounds?
Maybe.
At 7'5"?
Maybe.
Good God.
Is he less than KD was coming out of Texas?
I think so.
I mean,
so.
Yeah.
And I mean, KD has clearly showed us, because if you guys remember when KD got drafted, they were giving him a lot of shit because he couldn't do 185 pounds on the bench press.
Yep.
A lot of shit they were giving him. And he comes in and just obviously 185 pounds don't matter. It don't matter in the NBA how much you can bench. Clearly. Well, with LeBron it does, but he plays a little different game. But yeah, Wembanyama looks like a freak, but have we ever seen a freak like this, like a unicorn, like alien like this? No, but those are just measurables. I mean, they're just measurables. I mean, look at Greg Oden. Greg Oden had a lot of measurables.
Good franchise though. That's on the plus side. Good franchise he's going to.
Yeah, Pop. If you have the Don Hogue of the NBA as your coach, then you're already nothing. I didn't get anything. If you have Popovich, that's a good start for a young kid, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. I love Popovich's interviews. They're always some of my favorite. They're fantastic. He's just so dry and just doesn't have any of the stupid interview questions. It's fantastic. But if you ask him a good question, like Belichick, he will give you a detailed, very informative answer that you'll be like, holy shit, I never thought of it that way. But you got to ask him good questions. Don't be going there like, yeah, Coach, well, how was the energy in the second half? Not great. It wasn't great, if you saw. We lost by 30. Next question.
If you watch an inkling of this game.
I answered it. Let's move on.
Yeah, he just makes fun of most of them. He just has fun making fun of them. He's like, I don't even know why it's a question.
And honestly, some of those questions like throwing salt in the wound. I mean,
absolutely.
It's like,
absolutely.
Ask me something about the game that was maybe changing or what we did well, but don't freaking tell me something that already been
already
for 30 minutes.
Yes, 30 minutes. Yes.
That I just talked to my assistant coaches in a very heated conversation in the locker room about. Like, do not ask me about. Like, yes, I get it. That happened. I get it. Yeah, we noticed. We noticed. We were on the bench.
We should
Next question.
Yes.
Next question. We noticed.
Next question. Awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, Coach. Again, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
We're gonna have you on again. Hey, and we stay after for a second. I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna close it, and I'm telling you this live. Doesn't really matter. We'll close it, and then we just stay on for a second, and then we'll bring you back on. We'll talk real quick. So off the live thing.
Okay.
Nobody can see us anymore. Deshaun's still up there. Guaranteed. Hang on, let me find. He's still same number. He's still up there. I bet he is. Let me find the thing. I'm not a very good producer. I'm sorry. More of an interview guy. There it is. There it is. Got it. And then we do this. And then we do this thing.